The German lieutenant picked up a fire poker. He drew a dividing line on the ground. He split the cabin into two halves. The side near the stove belonged to Germany. The other side belonged to Britain. Just a few hours earlier, British and German forces had fought over mineral resources. A small battle broke out in Norway. Both sides' planes were shot down. They took first aid kits from the wreckage. They bandaged their injured arms. They removed parts from the plane and tied them to their feet. They used a flare to ignite the bomber. They carried supplies and headed toward the coastline, because their camp was there. But they soon ran into a blizzard. They had to find shelter before nightfall. Otherwise the harsh weather would kill them all. They struggled forward through the storm. Suddenly a soldier was dragged off a cliff by heavy supplies. Fortunately, he grabbed onto a protruding rock. He narrowly saved his life. But all their food fell into an ice crevice. For the Germans to survive in this freezing land would not be easy. Just as the three were in despair, they spotted a small cabin in the distance. They drew their pistols and approached cautiously. After confirming the area was safe, the lieutenant entered first. It turned out to be a Norwegian hunting cabin. Although the facilities were simple, for them it felt like salvation, like arriving in a dreamlike paradise, especially the stove that provided warmth, and a bag of oats that could keep them alive. As the Germans happily cooked, voices suddenly came from outside. The three instantly became tense. They stepped out and saw two British soldiers. Recognizing their uniforms, the lieutenant realized they were the pilots they had shot down earlier. An awkward silence filled the air. They reached for their weapons cautiously. No one dared to act rashly. In the end, the German lieutenant suggested going inside. At first they shook hands politely, but soon they argued over sleeping arrangements. The British captain believed he held the highest rank and deserved the spot nearest the stove. But the German lieutenant argued they found the cabin first and had priority. The British captain disagreed. Realizing they could not reach agreement, the German drew his pistol and aimed at them. He declared them prisoners and ordered them to move aside for a search. Facing the German gun, the British had no choice but to comply. But compliance did not mean surrender. They invoked the Geneva Convention, demanding 3 meals a day and proper facilities. This amused the soldier on the bunk. The captain said they all ate the same, and the facility was the open Norwegian snowfield. The German lieutenant picked up a stick. He drew a boundary on the floor. Without their permission, the British could not enter German territory, and so the two sides lived together. The storm still raged. A single line divided the soldiers. No one knew if they would walk out alive tomorrow.